I'm Dr. Cindy Davis Evans with the Cindy Davis Show. My guest today is dominating the charts with her latest single, The Way of a Woman. She is a celebrated singer, actress, and songwriter. Welcome to the show, Oscar-nominated, the incomparable Jan Daley.
Hi.
Hi. Hello there, Jan. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm great.
Well, you look gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. I just want to welcome you and thank you for coming on. You've had a very insightful music and acting career. And I would assume most of this began when you were crowned Miss California. When was this?
Oh, many, many years ago. I actually was in my second year of college, and a girlfriend convinced me. She said, I want to get into this, Miss Glendale, let's go. And I was like, yeah, all right. And, who would have ever known that it would end up opening doors for me later on?
I mean, all kinds of doors were open for you. So that's how your incredible career began.
I think so. I think, of course, I was always singing and directing in my garage, doing all this stuff at a very young age.
Yeah.
And that was really a big opening. And my college was very supportive. I sang for every event they would ask me. And it kind of catapulted me, let's say.
It really did. Who were your musical influences growing up, though?
Because I lived in kind of a rural mountain town and outside of Los Angeles, and we didn't have a lot of money, so I never went to concerts, but my mother would play 40s singers, big bands. And so I heard Rosemary Clooney, I heard Doris Day, and that was really all I was exposed to until, the movies. And then I was, movies about singers and so forth. And then, a lot of people came into focus at that point.
Wow. Who do you, your music, what is your genre of music? How would you describe your music?
I have written a lot of different music, from R&B to, inspirational, to country, to jazz, but it really was a Sound of Music, Michael B. Sutton, that found me through the Grammy organization, just really 5 years ago, and said, wow, where have you been? I love that you're a jazz singer. And I went, oh, I didn't know I was a jazz singer. I just love every kind of music, and I'm always trying to sing every kind of music. And he said, where have you been? So basically, I had a very big career in my 20s or early 30s. Yeah. And I walked away from, I had just done an album in Nashville, but it was an inspirational album and Christian album.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, it was great. We spent 9 months recording, and then I had this miracle baby, and she was 2, and we were meeting in Wisconsin for a family get together, and she walked right past me and didn't know me.
Wow.
And that was like, it killed me. And I just thought, there's no way that I can continue with my music, because to promote an album, you have to go out on tour and all that. And it was never supposed to have children. It was, I had cancer at 23.
Oh, no.
Yeah. They gave me a 1 in a million chance to have children.
Wow. That is a miracle.
Yes. And so I walked away for 20 years of my music.
Yeah.
Then concentrated on singing, and then became this really a songwriter, writing a song a week. That was my creative music outlet. And I had a nice studio in my place. And so I'm going all around. There's lots of intertwining things that happened in my life that got me here today.
Yeah, because you toured with Bob Hope in the USO tour, and that was to entertain the troops. We're going way back now, just to give some history about your career.
Sure.
Was that like that's incredible?
I think most of us grew up watching his Christmas shows. I never missed a year. I loved watching that. And it really has to do with, and I get emotional. It has to do with my father, who was an Air Corps pilot in World War II.
Oh.
I was born 2 months before the war ended. And then all the guys are waiting to be shipped back. And my father volunteered to pick up POWs 2 months after the war was over. Wow. And he was shot down. And I never got to meet him.
Oh.
So in my heart, when I started doing USO shows, it was like, I hope my dad is watching and that he's proud,
Yeah.
So to be, I had met Bob Hope on an earlier a TV series that I was on. And then, I'd also done I'd recorded a song for a movie, and it went on to be nominated for an Academy Award.
Wow. Now, what song was that and what movie was that?
Madrone was the movie, Leslie Madrone and Richard. And it was nominated for Academy Award. And it was probably the worst movie ever produced. There it went. My song went out into the nomination of an Oscar. And so that was a thing that put me on another level even. And so I think Bob asked me to come in and sing for him. And I think I reminded him of his wife, Dolores, who was a really great singer. I had a low voice.
Yeah.
And it was just, I loved every minute of it. It was just to be able to reach out and give our boys and girls just a moment of home to them.
Yeah.
And girls, of course, for the guys. Home girls, And so I always wanted to carry on, that tradition. And I traveled without him as well on my own USO shows. Wow.
You did that for how long?
I would say 4 years, maybe 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
It was always so exciting. And I just felt close to my father when I was doing it.
Yeah. I bet. What are some of your most cherished memories throughout your career? And
well, of course, the USO shows were.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think, of course, my best production was my baby Miracle Girl. And I think that because I was told I could never have children, and then I did lose 2 children, but we were still hopeful.
Yeah.
And, it's always complicated. even I was involved in 2 5-year contracts with Sanyo and Muriel and a Dodge girl, 3 actually. And I got pregnant in the middle because I didn't expect to ever even get pregnant. So here I was trying to cover that all up. And finally at 5 months, I wasn't going to abort. It wasn't naturally going to abort like the other 2 had been. And so we had to tell everybody. And I distinctly remember a director on my Dodge Girl commercials. And I would wear like this white, very tight jumpsuit. And I remember him saying, "Hey, Daley, you got to lay off that pasta, because my was spreading for, to give birth." And, but I always remember that. I said, if I only knew, that kind of thing. But I lost that one. And then I literally worked for Muriel till I was 7 months pregnant. And thank goodness I was really skinny So it didn't show very much,
Yeah.
and I could get by.
Yeah.
But, my life has always been very complicated, as everybody's is,
Yeah. How were you able to rise above that and continue 20 years later in your career?
You know, when I came back, when my daughter was, in college, I knew what I wanted to do when I came back.
Okay.
However, the music industry had changed completely.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was open for Don Rickles and all the well-known comics, and there was none of that going on. And it took me a good, really 10 years to figure out where I fit in. And it was a struggle. But, I tell every mom or every, you're never too old or young to reach your dreams. And this is a dream, to come back and be on the charts and then have this wonderful honor of the Women's Songwriters Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
But to answer specifically, I think it was my faith that gave me hope. And growing up in that with positive thinking and possibility thinking, and always trying to look at things, from the full cup instead of the half empty cup. And I think I'm really good. And for anyone going in the entertainment business, you have to be able to, when you get knocked down, you have to be able to get back up. And I did.
Wow.
Just like Carol Burnett, who's a dear friend of mine, she said, when I would not get a part, she would say, well, that's okay, because it's their turn. Yeah. And that's a great thing to look at. Say, well, it's not my time. It's that got this. Yeah. This whatever acting part. That it's their turn.
You have to stay positive about it.
Very. But I think life in general, you have to stay positive.
Of course.
When you have something like cancer or any kind of devastating disease, that you have to keep hoping and you have to keep faith, whatever faith it is, but you just have to know that I just kept thinking that God was keeping me around for some purpose. And I feel like this is the year of the woman. Yeah. I really do. And it is now, it's women of a certain age. And, I thought my career was over at 30. I thought, oh my God, I'm 30.
Yeah.
But now it sounds like, whoa, I wish I were 30, but not really, Yeah. I think hopefully you learn from a lot of things you have been in and through.
I would hope so. What does it mean to you to be inducted into the Women's Songwriters Hall of Fame? What does it mean to you personally?
It's something that I never even dreamed of. Yeah. It wasn't on my bucket list, nothing like that. It's such an honor just to be honored in this. It means a great deal, because I think of all those years that I did pitch songs for other artists. I had, you have a little success and then you don't, but it's part of the entertainment industry. But it means a great deal to me. And I know that I'm going to be very emotional at the at the whole Hall of Fame thing. And we have to actually get up and talk and accept the award.
Yeah, get your speech together. You got your speech together?
I'm trying. And, I'm putting together, they want, a 2-minute video. And that's been very hard, since I have about 100 videos. So I've been going through these videos, 1 second here, 1 second there, that kind of thing. Yeah. But it does make you realize that you have done a lot of stuff.
I bet. Yeah, you look back and you're like, wow, I've done that. Look what I've accomplished, and look how far God has brought me. Yeah. I would think it would be a time of reflection too. Definitely
a reflection of how your life goes in these tangents here and tangents there.
Mhm.
And that's kind of, I don't know if it's just my life, but I think everybody has tangents where
Yeah.
they just, this avenue opens up and you run to it, or one just knocks you down over here and you have to pull yourself up and pick yourself up and, go again.
Yeah, and keep going and keep going. When you write your songs, for example, The Way of a Woman, is that song from experience? Do you write your songs based on your life, or how does that work? This
I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
this song in particular, The Way of a Woman, I'm sorry.
Right. This has been so well received that I think I have to say that when you write from your heart, experience, people listen. You think, oh, I'm just writing this as therapy for myself.
Okay.
And now, I wrote this probably 20 years ago.
Wow.
And it meant a lot to me then, and it does now in a whole new way. But I think truly, if you ask any artist, they'll say that when they write from an experience that they're going through, that's the thing that people respond to because it's honest and true.
Do you think that's why it is has been climbing the charts lately?
Yeah. I think we've had more men and women
Really?
responding. Yeah. I hoped that the women would be responding, but they definitely were on board. But even men said, oh my God, this is amazing,
Yeah.
To have it be this whole thing and riding up the charts with Lady Gaga and, Taylor Swift and stuff. I'm like, you're kidding. And so I sent a picture of the chart where at one point, I think I was 26, Taylor was 25, and Lady Gaga was underneath me. And so she was like 27. And I sent it to my granddaughter, and she just turned 13, and she's going, wow, 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 because she couldn't believe it. And so, I take pride in my children, and I had two girls then, one, my daughter, and then now my granddaughter. So it's fun to see all the different levels that this particular song is hitting, different age groups and stuff.
It's a beautiful song, and you sing it beautifully. Your voice is rich. It's a beautiful song. You have a beautiful voice.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
it.
Yes,
you do.
I think, when I started out, I didn't think I had, I said, I sing on key. I didn't have a lot of confidence in my singing, but I had the drop, and I just got better. I got better. I took lessons and got better, and took one from Seth Riggs, who did from Michael Jackson to Barbra Streisand to opera singers, and he enlarged my range. So you'll hear it in some of my other albums. But
wow,
what
was it like working with Michael B. Sutton?
It was great. He had he came in out of nowhere, through the Grammy organization, but still it was like, okay, I'm jumping on this train, and very supportive, and still is, and still very much a fan, and said, we gotta get out, we gotta get you out there. And time we did another album that went to Billboard #1, and that was just blew me away. And now we're on different charts. As a matter of fact, he just remixed and redid Way of a Woman in a country version.
Really?
Yes. And I'm like, country, really? And
wow.
It's amazing. And then a dance, it's going to go out to the world dance, whatever that is. And then another smooth jazz release. So I'm going to be in like 4 different, territories. I'm still like, really? And the disco version is amazing. I call it disco, but it's like a house music. And it's just got a great beat. And I never thought they could actually use my voice. They're using my voice, the same, track. They're just remixing everything. And it was like, oh, I really like this, but I never thought it would be like, yeah, baby.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You mentioned Carol Burnett. She was one of your protege, I guess, or how did you meet?
Well, my boyfriend represents her, and growing up, before the singing voice, the whole thing, when I was a kid, junior high, I wanted to be Carol Burnett. I was trying to do comedy. I did slapstick and all sorts, and I can do
the jungle yell.
And I just, when I got to meet her, it was like, oh my God, I'm actually meeting her. And she just couldn't have been more welcoming and nice and just down to earth. She's a great gal.
That's amazing. What would you like to be remembered as?
Another person had asked me in an interview how I'd like to be remembered. And I think just a kind person, but hopefully, they'll include that she was very talented. You want to be remembered that way. And obviously songs that mean things to people. But I think I've always tried to be kind to people and very inclusive to anybody I meet,
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Well, I applaud you and I congratulate you for all of your success and everything that you're doing. And congratulations on your induction to the Women's Songwriters Hall of Fame. I think that's a beautiful thing. It's amazing how far God can take you when you have faith and you just keep moving.
Yeah. And let him guide you, not just reading every day. Okay. My daily word, and I just feel this is the first real year that I felt led to do a lot of things, but also to be, have my own platform in that, just talking to women and sharing things and sharing how you can get through this, how you can get through that.
Yeah.
And it really helps when you have God.
It really helps when you have God on your side. It really does to help you get through life. And we as women go through so much, and we need all the guidance we can get, so it's just a blessing. It really is. So I want to thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story and inspiring so many women and men too.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with everything you have as well.
Well, thank you so much. And hold what you have there. And I'm Cindy Davis Evans with the Cindy Davis Show. Until next time, God bless.